Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to our lecturer, and today I will present about the comparison between the three interfaces that we choose for our project, that is IEEE, Science Direct and Google Scholar. I have 5 categories that I will compare, that is content design, navigation design, screen and window design, message and message arrow. Where for the IEEE, for the content design is a well structured, and also that information is appropriate. So what about the Science Direct and Google Scholar? For the Science Direct, it's also well structured and the information is appropriate. But for the Google Scholar, there doesn't have informations for the user, and for the IEEE is well known for the intermittent user and also for the expert user. Same with the Science Direct, but different for the Google Scholar. It also can be used for the novice user. And for the second categories, that is navigation design, where it's talk about the navigations, icon, buttons, and for the 3 interface that we choose, that the button, the icons is well functions and appropriate and easy to understand. And for the third categories, that is screen and window design, all of the design is well good. And the last one is about message error. Message error for the 3 of the interface is the well described and also is agreed. That's it for the comparison of the 3 interface that we choose.
Okay. So I will proceed with IEEE Explore Digital Library. So firstly, I will talk about content design. This content design for the interface is suitable for knowledgeable intermittent user and also expert user. It is because the structure is quite complex for the beginner to understand compared to Google Scholar. And then the interface is well structured and contain ads and also recommended articles at the lower interface, which will make the user easier to find the articles. And then the content is appropriate, simple, precise, and easy to understand for the frequent user, because the interface is complete with the representation, which will help the user to get the accurate result. Next, this platform also meets the objective and the originality of content, such as ideal representation and also references. These 3 elements are complete and manageable. And lastly, for the content design, the interface has creative representation. As I mentioned before, this platform parted the sections for the magazines and journals, conference, books, standards, and also courses. For navigation design, this interface is well functioned and well structured. As you can see in the screen, when I push a button for advanced search, it has gone to the correct page. And as for the icon button, since there is not much of icon in this interface, they have the only search icon. So what I can see is that this icon is recognizable for the user to use. That's all for navigation design. And I will proceed with screen and window design. And this interface is flexible and consistent in terms of visual, but for the user handling, such as user requirements and performance, the information given in the interface is overload and sometimes confusing, especially for the first timer. Also, some of the articles provided are outdated and not necessary to be displayed. However, the layout is appropriate, and the navigation or command area at the top provide an ordering of screen information and elements that is rhythmic, which guiding a person's eye through display and encourage natural movement sequences. It also minimizes pointer and eye movement distances. Next, this interface also locates the most important and most frequently used elements at top left, the status area at the bottom, and the information area in the middle. And lastly, the interface can be scrolled vertically. Okay, for interaction design, in terms of relevance, this interface information requests are obvious and relevant, and the system output are simple and easy to understand. And also, this interface provides adequate information which allow user to operate and to perform the task in order to help user formulate input requests. Also, adequate status feedback which provide information is provided to help the user to continue with the task. So this interface, there are two ways that user can interact with the system, which is linguistic manipulation and direct manipulation. And this interface use direct manipulation, which is easier to learn and use by using the input devices such as keyboard and mouse. The appropriate selection of the interaction design is that this interface uses command line, menus, dialog boxes, and form fields.
Today I will talk about Google Scholar. There are 5 content I will talk about Google Scholar. There is from content design, navigation design, scroll and window design, interaction design, and the last message error design. Okay. Google Scholar is sweet target user for novice user, knowledge intermediate user, and very suitable for expert and frequency user. Second, this interface will structured because it's same like a Google. This interface is appropriate content but only for a few users. This interface very simple, precise, and easy to understand. This interface are complete, accurate, and meets objective. This interface is the originality of content, like idea, representation, and references. 7. The interface creative representation for content, like simply of the overall flow of the process. Example is make with easy to find article. The second is navigation design. The interface are well functional. Google Scholar is well structured. This interface are perceivable and recognizable. This icon of interface is very good. It's very easy to use and not make the user will stress because the icon is very beautiful. The hyperlink is not complicated like another interface. From screw and Windows design. This interface are natural because it's like same like Google. But this interface is only focused in one action. This interface is not flexible because it's only search for article and info about knowledge for library. It also make 15% of user requirement. This not be user performance. Level of performance only 15%. Design. This interface have relevant interaction. This interface also are supportive. The interface are not have self-paced interaction because it's only F1. The interface are used linguistic manipulation because it can change space with mouse. This interface also have a few appropriate selection of interaction design and not have all like another interface.
Today I will proceed with the science direct interface where is for the content design. It's suitable for the knowledgeable intermediate user and expert user. While for the interface is well structured, the recommended architecture is at the lower of the interface make user easier to find articles. And another thing is the interface. The interface provide advanced search such as a specific year and title and keyword for the user so that they can find the article more easily, and the content is also appropriate, simple and easy to understand for the frequent user of the interface because the interface is complete. And the next one is about navigation design where the interface is well structured and also well functioned because example the logo of the interface that is provide a way back to the main page. So, and the icon use is appropriate and recognizable, and hyperlink also is a well function. For the screen and the window design, the interface is flexible and consistent in terms of visual, but for the user handling, such as user requirements for performance, and the interface can be scrolled vertically, and also the page, but the page is overloading with too much material. And the next one is about interaction design, where the interface use direct manipulations. And for the direct manipulations, it's easier to learn and use by using input device such as keyboard or mouse. And also this interface provide adequate information and appropriate selections of interaction design such as command line, menus, dialog box, and form.
So proceed with the evaluation. We use questionnaire as the evaluation for this interface. So the first question is about their opinion for the interface shown in the question. As you can see, many agrees that this system is user-friendly, easy to use and also creative, while half of the quarter choose that this interface has overload information. Next, for the second question, many people agree that this interface is well structured and interesting. While for the third question, many voted that this interface is suited for beginner and intermediate user, which means that this interface is reliable and not too complicated for the beginners to use, as well as it will also be easy for the intermediate user and expert user to use. Lastly, many agree that the interface can guide user to search for articles conveniently, and many of them understand on how to use the interface just by looking at the pictures that we have provided in the questionnaire about the interface. So that's all from us. Thank you for watching.
This is the good and the bad of the variables digital library that we discussed before. This is our new digital library that we are improvised based on the tree system. The name of this digital library is New Digital Library. So this new digital library is user friendly, which means it's wide for novice user, knowledge capable user, and expert user. Next, the content is not so easy and hard for everyone to use. And the interface is well structured, precise, and easy to use. The interface presentation of the content is simple and original compared to the exit interface that we discussed before. The interface also locates the most important use determined in the right and the information area in the left. This interface also has a relax mode button which to help user to take a break after the user tired for searching the article. This icon is recognizable and new for user, which when the user push the button, the screen will automatically be black and some chill music will be played. Lastly, the digital library part is section for journal, course book, conference, and students for user convenience.